I am a minute late. Sorry for the delay, everyone. I'm stepping up here to make sure that you can see me. Loving my horror movie effect there with the lights. How's everyone? I'm so pumped and super excited to be here today talking about how to design your life. I have been excited since I came up with this program, since I came up with the idea of creating this 5-day challenge, and I am pumped for starting it today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Annie Woods, and I am a life coach and self-leadership trainer for women, and also your host here at Untamed Woman. I'm gonna wait, I have something in my teeth, I think. I'm gonna wait a little bit to start, see who comes up. I love interacting with you. I love creating these conversations. I love for you to participate here. So I'm just gonna wait a little bit. Today it's gonna be all about figuring out where we are, and I have a few exciting announcements of what's going on in Untamed Woman, what's going on for you, and a few opportunities coming up that are going to be amazeballs. So as I wait, and I mean you're gonna see it anyways if you replay this puppy, I just want to say that if you came in, just drop a message in the comments, say yes, hey Annie, I'm here. And if not, I hope you get to see this in the replay. And yeah, I'm really excited about today. Today is the basis of all we're going to build on for the rest of the week. Today we're gonna talk about the most important component of clarity, which is clarity of the moment, clarity of the self. So as we progress today, you're gonna get homework, and I'm gonna share with you in this week my day-to-day practice to keep myself on track. Because trust me, this composed human being was not as cool as you see her right here. So I am really excited to create this day with and for you. So yes, I think that because it's 7 p.m. on a Monday, some of you may be a little busy, so let's get started. One of the things and one of the reasons why I created this program and why I created this challenge is because I know how overwhelm can put a damper in our lives and in our plans and everything we want to create. And before I get into that, I have one super cool announcement. Some of you know it, but for you that are new in the group and for you that have not interacted with us all along, Master Souls is coming. Master Souls is my group coaching program. If you are a Des Moines local, I have 3 spots open. It's going to be only 6 women in this program. I am being very careful about curating it. I want to make sure this is quality people. You are getting the most ridiculous price for it. It's an 8-session coaching program for women that want to stop getting in their way, being in their way to create their goals and the life they want. So we're going to work during 8 sessions in a group setting for you to start working on your goals and taking intentional action towards what you want in life. So if you are tired of making up excuses, if you want to really build a sisterhood feeling, please make sure that you check out some information I'm going to put down in the comments for the program Master Souls. I know that everybody's into the mastermind groups, talking about business. I am talking about something that's the main component of business. Your relationship to self. And that starts today. Hi, whoever signed up, please say hi, drop a comment, let us know that you're here. So let's get started talking about clarity, talking about how you get to design your life. Hi everyone, just drop a comment, say hello. I like interacting with you. Ask whatever questions you want during the program. I'm about to start talking about the main and most important component of clarity. So how do you start? You start by asking one important question. that question is, where am I? Why is it important? Because I like to think that if you don't know where you are, you might as well just get in wherever you think you want to be. It is important that before you focus on the future, you get a realistic idea of where you are in the moment. And that is exactly what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to get an objective idea of where you are in your life. And I actually have a full exercise for you. And if you haven't done it, if you're watching this because you're a member of Untamed Woman and you have not signed up in the challenge, please do so, because you will be able to get the document that will allow you to go through your homework today. Because yes, this is a challenge, and yes, there is homework. You are going to do things to get things. So go to anniepwoods.com/design-your-life and sign up for the challenge, because right after this live stream is over, you're going to get an email with your Wheel of Life, which I will explain in a little bit. So one of the things that I find to be super important when it comes to start designing your life is getting rid of the overwhelm. So I want to ask you, and I want you to ask yourself, what does overwhelm mean to you? What makes you feel overwhelmed? And drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think. When you think about creating the life you want, creating the results you want, what makes you feel overwhelmed? What are the fears? What are the ideas that come up in your mind? Because one of the common threads when it comes to overwhelm is this idea that there's a lot to do and not enough time to do it. There are so many places to start and you don't know where you need to start. So that is what we're going to talk about today. Figuring out where you are and how you are going to take objective look at your life and figure out where starts. Hi, Shauna. Perfection and failure equals overwhelm. Yes, perfectionism and the fear of failure is definitely a great component of overwhelm, because you want everything to be perfect and you have no idea how it's going to feel if you don't make it. Let me tell you, when it comes to failure, it is a necessary component, and no one is perfect. You already know this, but it doesn't matter how you say it cognitively if you do not apply it in your life. So today, I'm going to invite you to take a non-judgmental look at your life. Let's see where it is, and let's see how you can make the best out of this information, okay? So what we are going to use today is this document that I call the Wheel of Life. Some of you may know it. Shauna, you know it, you've done it with me, but we are going to take a really in-depth look to the Wheel of Life today. Now, what is the Wheel of Life? It is a little exercise that I didn't design. It's not of my doing, but it has been going around in the coaching world for a while, and I think it is one of the most important tools in our path to clarity. So this wheel has 9 components. This little pie has 9 components that you will fill out according to where you think you are. So the importance of knowing where you are is that it is the place where you need to start getting to where you want to be. So that is what we're going to do today. So you today are going to arrive and you're going to get, once you sign up, a Wheel of Life, and you're going to fill it up this way. If you can tell this, we have the numbers from 0, well 1 in this case, to 10. 0 being the worst your life can possibly be. Think about a clusterfuck. And 10 being the best your life can possibly be in this area. And the 9 areas that I use in my wheel are friends and family, health, spirituality, significant other or romance, personal growth, money, career, contribution, and fun and recreation. And I am going to get into each one of this so that you know the value and the importance of really paying attention to every single one of these areas. So when we talk about friends and family, we're talking about belonging. We're talking about that emotion, that sensation that we need as human beings to know that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. It's not the same as fitting in. It's knowing that even though you are not potentially perfect, you still belong, you're still loved. You have fun and recreation. How much time, or where is the time that you are dedicating to having fun, to growing, to creating joy in your life. It is super important because then depression, sadness, all of those things kick in. So we're going to look at that. Contribution. A lot of people ask me about this. What is contribution and why does it matter? How are you contributing to society? How are you contributing to something bigger than yourself? How are your talents serving? I'm not talking only about volunteering. I'm talking about potentially giving your time to be there with somebody. How is your career contributing to society? So I want you to keep that in mind when you fill out the wheel. Career. How do you feel you're in your career? I'm not talking about is your job a good job? I'm talking about, are you fulfilled by your career? I'm talking about, are you doing what you love? I'm talking about, how is your career impacting you and how are you impacting your career? Once again, when you fill out this wheel, for those of you who are joining us, say hi. When you fill out this wheel, I want you to keep in mind your standards. It is time for you to put to rest whatever it was that you were taught about where you needed to be in life. You are going to get clarity for you. You are going to be faithful to you. You are going to answer this with honesty. The most important component here is honesty, and nobody is gonna read this. I'm not gonna read it. The person that's coming into this live stream is not going to read it. This is going to be for you. And for once, maybe in a long time, you are going to get the chance to be truly honest with you. So we talked about career. Now money. How much money do you have in the bank? Money is important, people. Whether you want to admit it or not, money allows you to have a fuller experience of life. So where do you feel your financial situation is at? Could it be better? We all have a room for improvement, but where do you feel you are when it comes to money? For some people, 10 grand in the bank is enough. For some people, 10 grand in the bank is nothing compared to where they want to be. So keep in mind that it is your perception of your reality. Personal growth. What are the steps that you're taking every day to become the best version of you that you can take? What are the books that you're reading? What are the classes that you're taking? What care are you taking of yourself? Are you meditating? What is it that you're doing, and where do you feel your personal goal is at? Next one, significant other and romance. I always like to stop in this one because, like I said, you are going to measure this from the worst possible scenario to the best possible scenario. And people get confused. I am not talking about whether you're married, in a relationship, or single. I'm talking about your level of satisfaction in this particular area of your life. Meaning, if you are single and loving it, you're closer to a 10 than you are to a 0. Now, if you're married and completely miserable, you're closer to a zero than you are to a 10. Simple. Next area, spirituality. I'm not talking religion. How do you feel connected to something bigger than yourself? Whatever that is. Is it a group of people that make you feel fulfilled? Whatever that is, where do you feel your relationship where do you feel you are in relation to spirituality? From a 0 to a 10. And the last one, health. What is your relationship to your body right now? And I'm going to give it to you very simple. Health is the absence of sickness. Do you feel you're healthy? Do you feel achy when you wake up in the morning? When was the last time you made a doctor's appointment? When was the last time you made a dentist appointment? Those are the type of things that you're going to keep in mind when you're filling out health. So this is how you're going to do it. And I'm going to do an example of one. Okay, so you're going to evaluate where you feel you are in the wheel, right? So in whichever area, so friends and family, fun and recreation, contribution, career, money, personal growth, significant other, spirituality, health, okay? So you're gonna notice that I just did some dots. This is an example. And after you do it, you are going to pinpoint, you're going to tie the dots or unite the dots. Remember, English is not my first language. So, my wheel, the one that I just filled, would look like this. If I were to ask you, if this is the tire of your bicycle, where the hell do you think you're going on that thing? Probably not where near. So, this is a moment when you look at your wheel without judgment. This is a moment when you ask yourself some really tough questions, but with the most love in your life. And this is where my journey started a year ago. When I found myself in this country not knowing what the fuck I was going to do in my life and my time. With a coaching degree, with training experience, but not knowing how I was going to use it. Not even knowing if I wanted to use it. So this is where it started for me. Asking the questions that led me to pursue who I really am and what I really want to do. So I looked at my wheel and I went through these sections one by one, asking myself why, in the case I was dissatisfied with the result, why am I not where I want to be? Every time I found a place in the wheel that was low, I found one of 3 excuses. And this is what I want to develop with you today. And I want to give you what these excuses mean in your real life. One of the main excuses that I found is that I didn't have any money. Money was really low for me. I couldn't work. I didn't have any income. I was a kept woman. What money means in the realm of the conversations we have with ourselves is self-worth. When your bottom line is low because you're either not making however much you think you're worth, you're scared of asking for that raise, you're scared of going for that job, you're scared of asking that client for the amount of money you know that will help you help them, you're talking about self-worth. You have in your bank account the amount of money you think you're worth. Sorry about that. If you didn't know that, you owe the amount of money that's scaring you enough to keep you where you are, because it's so bad maybe that you don't want to make it worse. So if you have a money conversation, here I am to tell you, in whichever area of this life, because some people have a money conversation when it comes to fun and recreation. If you have a money conversation when it comes to fun and recreation, how much is your joy worth? Sometimes it will take no money, but if it takes money for whatever you want to do, how much are you worth? Another of the second conversation that you usually have when that's keeping you from getting to where you want to be is time. I do not have enough time to do all this. The same thing that comes with overwhelm. There's too much to do and I don't have enough time. So I'm going to decide to do this other thing. One of the things that we're going to talk about today, in this week, is how to prioritize, how to make the decisions about keeping the commitments and keeping the things in your life that are serving you, and how to get rid of the things that are not serving you. If you have a conversation with time, you have a conversation with relationships. Why with relationships? Because if you do not have time to do something that makes you smile, if you do not have time, then you don't have time to spend time with your family. You don't have time to spend with your significant other. You don't have time to spend with yourself. All of those things are relationship related. How are your relationships? If your excuse is time, I'll ask you, how are your relationships? And take a good look at it. Again, not from a judgmental point of view. How much time are you dedicating to your relationships? Is it all about work? Or in another hand, is it all about your marriage? Or is it all about your kids? What is your relationship with those other areas in your life? Now, the third thing that's usually a conversation is, I do not think I can do this. Self-doubt. It is time for you to start doubting your doubt. It is time for you to put hold on whatever it is that's worrying you. So today, I want you to make a commitment. Whenever you see this video, I want you to make a commitment to put whatever is worrying you in the back burner, whatever the doubt is. Because the exercise that we're going to do during this 5 days is an exercise on confidence. How you're going to focus on the things that are going to get you to where you want to be and not waver from that. The good thing is that this 5 days will end. You can go back to worrying and self-doubt on Saturday. Happy. So don't worry. If you're comfortable in your drama, which a lot of people are, I'm here to tell you, you do not need to divorce it. But what I want you to do once you get your Wheel of Life, which you will be getting today, if you go to anniepwoods.com/design-your-life, You will get it today in an email at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you will be able to do this exercise. And I need you to do it because it will be the basis of everything we will be working on this week, okay? So, grab your Wheel of Life, fill it out, and if you don't get the Wheel of Life, what you can do is a rating. You can grade these areas. I'm gonna repeat them for you. You can write them down, and you can grade them from 0 to 10, okay? So we're talking about fun and recreation, friends and family, health, spirituality, significant others or romance, personal growth, money, career, and contribution. Those are the 9 areas I want you to focus on, and I want you to grade yourself from 0 to 10. Where do you think you are? Again, not where your mom wants you to be, not where your father wants you to be, not where your grandma thought that you be. Let me tell you something about that part in my life. I was miserable before I came here. I was miserable for a long time because I was a disappointment. I was a complete disappointment for my parents. I dropped out of school way many more times than I want to talk about, and I did not own a luxury car. I did not marry a wealthy man back home. I was not the manager or of a franchise or a bank branch. I was me. I was a person that was out there doing leadership training. I was a person that was out there doing simultaneous interpretation, translation. I was hustling like a motherfucker because that's who I am. But that wasn't good enough for my parents. It took me a while to understand that it was never going to be good enough, but it was more important to me to figure out what was good enough for me. And this is what this wheel is all about. Figure out what's good enough for you, and if you're not there, let's get you there. Let's start designing the life that you want for yourself based on what you think is good enough, because you are good enough to get it. There's no way around that. When you look at your wheel and you're dissatisfied with what you're seeing, you get to take responsibility for it. You get to own it, and you get to start rewriting. The exercises that we're going to do in this 5 days will allow you to start building up to that. Will allow you to reverse engineer your idea. Sometimes we need to start at the end and then work our way back. Today, we're starting from the now. I want you to ask yourself while you do this wheel, where am I? Are you happy with where you are? And if you're not, good news, you don't have to stay there. If you want to stay there, that's your problem. And when I say that's your problem, I seriously mean that's your problem, because it's your decision. Complaining has gotten no one anywhere. Throwing a pity party has gotten no one anywhere. Getting honest, curious, and down to business, that's what's going to get your butt from where you are to where you want to be. So commit to this 5 days. Do your Wheel of Life. Go to the website, sign up, download it, and do the work. Because this can mean the difference between who you were that you don't like and the person you've always dreamed of being that's in you. We are going to work on your vision. We are going to work on your goals. We are going to work on prioritizing. You are going to learn from me, my day-to-day practice to keep myself on track, working towards what I want. Because trust me, when I got here a year and a half ago, I had no idea how I was going to pay $15,000 in debt. I had no idea how what being married meant. I had no idea what my business was going to look like. I didn't even know that I was going to have a business. It took me filling out this wheel. It took me being honest with myself. It took me failing over and over again. Dude, I even failed my driver's test. I've been driving since I was 13 years old. I arrived here, I failed my driving test. And it could have been what it was for my grandma when she crashed her car for the first time. She never drove again. My grandma is 76 years old. She crashed a vehicle when she was 18. She's never driven again. How many times have you let failing at one thing in one moment keep you from really pursuing something? I crashed my first car when I was 13. Probably the 7th time I've ever driven. And that didn't stop me. It sucks to fail. Sucks like a motherfucker. And because it sucks, you want to learn from it and move forward. So look at your wheel. Look at where you failed. But remember, you are not a failure. You get to learn from it. So your homework, the only one you have for tomorrow, when we will be talking about a badass topic that I love, and it's vision, is to fill out your wheel and ask yourself the question, where am I and why am I here? Tomorrow, we're going to talk about where do you want to be. And I'm really excited for that. Thank you for those of you that joined. Thank you for those of you who watch. Remember to sign up for the challenge at nepwoods.com/design-your-life and get on it. I am using the hashtag LifeDesign. Invite your friends. If you think that's anyone that can benefit from this, please invite them over. This is going to be super cool. These 5 days are packed with information and knowledge and actionables. So join us here. Untamed Woman is your wall. Share with us. Be happy with us. And ask questions about Master Souls, which is coming up. Thank you for watching. I am really happy. I am really excited for what's coming. So have a great evening. Bye-bye.